What's going on, vinyl community and Kiss Army? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing 5 Kiss albums that I own the most copies of in my vinyl collection. As if vinyl collecting as a whole isn't nutty enough, Kiss vinyl collecting is on its own plane with a whole multitude of pressings that make collectors go nuts. I've said it before, the great thing about vinyl collecting is that there is no golden rule, to each their own, and when it comes to collecting Kiss vinyl, I typically go after colored vinyl, German pressings with the modified logo, picture discs, the occasional unofficial pressing and such, and thankfully, since Kiss is my favorite band of all time, they're one of the very few bands that I go to these types of extremes when it comes to vinyl collecting. This video will shine a light on that aspect of collecting Kiss vinyl, and I'll be showcasing the differences between all these pressings that make them unique to own, and also justify having multiples of them. We have a lot to get through in this video, so enough of the chit chat, let's jump into what this video is all about. Real quick, before we get into the video, I want to make mention of today's sponsor, and that is the Societees. Societees is a company that specializes in making vintage-inspired t-shirts for fans of music, pop culture, films, television, gamers, and more. As for music shirts, they offer plenty of options for just about any artist imaginable, such as AC/DC, Pink Floyd, Def Leppard, and Bon Jovi, just to name a few, and that's only scratching the surface. You name it, Societees has it. They reached out to me making mention of their Kiss t-shirts, and if there is one band that I don't have enough t-shirts of, I say that as my dresser is jam-packed with them, it's Kiss. And Societees was gracious enough to send me not just one Kiss t-shirt, but 3 Kiss t-shirts. Since we're in the season of Kissmas, as I like to call it, they sent me a nice Merry Kissmas shirt in red that has a photo of the guys circa 1976. They also sent me a white Dress to Kill shirt, which comprises of the guys in suits and makeup as per the original album cover. And finally, they also sent me a US Tour 76 shirt that has another cool band shot from around the same time frame. I absolutely love the designs of these shirts and also how they feel. They use American Classics 100% cotton shirts, which are super soft and not too rugged compared to other band shirts that you'll find out in the wild. And as you'll see in this video, I will be switching shirts throughout all the albums that I will be discussing in this video. If you are inclined to check out the Kiss music-related or general shirts Societees has to offer, be sure to head on over to thesocietees.com. Now on to the video. First up, with a grand total of 6 copies, is Creatures of the Night. After an interesting couple of years dabbling in disco, pop, and concept albums, the band got their act together and made a balls-to-the-walls hard rock album, almost borderline metal. It's an album that diehards adore, but at the time, like Paul Stanley said, people listened with their eyes, and they took off the makeup, and the rest is history. I have the 2014 reissue that uses the 1985 remix of the opening title track. Not sure why this was specifically used, but it stands out for that reason. I also have the half-speed master pressing, which comes in a glossy tip-on jacket and the eyes glow in the dark, visually the most stunning looking of the 6. There's also the 3LP Deluxe Edition that came out at the same time as the Half Speed and the Super Deluxe box set, only available on KissOnline.com, which has the remastered album, demos and outtakes, and live material, all in a triple gatefold jacket and a booklet pressed on blue vinyl, a phenomenal presentation. There is an unofficial pressing on purple vinyl with Vinnie Vincent on the cover instead of Ace. This always existed as unofficial. As far back as 1983 when Kiss toured Brazil, there were copies of this out, and the lines tend to be blurred when it comes to Kiss fans regarding this as official, which it never was, but it is notorious enough to own. Here is another unofficial pressing on red vinyl with the standard jacket. What makes this one kind of unique is that it uses the Casablanca Record and Filmworks label, which was only used in markets outside of the US, where there was a custom label as you saw earlier. There's also the inclusion of a fold-out poster. This was specifically designed for this pressing. It did not come with any official pressings of the album. Last but not least is the Super Deluxe vinyl box set exclusive to Kiss Online, which is limited to 1,000 copies worldwide and is pressed on glow-in-the-dark vinyl. Next up, tying in with Creatures for the most copies being 6, is Destroyer. Producer Bob Ezrin truly reinvented the band on this record and enabled the band to stray from the basic meat and potatoes sound established on their first 3 albums. It's absolutely cinematic, and many, such as myself, can vouch to say that it is their best album on all fronts. I have the 2014 reissue, which replicates the original artwork perfectly, down to the blue Bogart label and the printed inner sleeve. I also have a 2014 German pressing, which utilizes the censored Z logo. I have the Walmart exclusive pressing of Destroyer Resurrected, which is a 2012 stereo remix done by Bob Ezrin. Comes with a cool 4-panel insert and is pressed on orange vinyl. I have the Kiss Online exclusive of the 2LP Deluxe Edition, which includes the remastered album, along with a selection of demos, outtakes, single versions, and live material, along with a great booklet pressed on red and yellow vinyl. Then I have the German version of that exact pressing, which is on black vinyl, but uses the logo as it appeared on the original 1976 German pressing before the modified Z logos went into effect a little later on. Last but not least is the Super Deluxe vinyl box set exclusive to Kiss Online, limited to 1,000 copies worldwide, and is pressed on white with purple and orange splatter vinyl. Next up, with a total of 4 copies, is Kiss's self-titled debut. It's one of the finest debut albums of all time, and it literally plays like a greatest hits. I know I said Destroyer was their best, but for any new-coming fan who wants to test the Kiss waters, this is the perfect first album to encounter. I have the 2014 reissue, which I would have swapped when the gold anniversary pressing came out, but I'm holding on to it since I had it signed by Peter Criss when I met him at the Atlantic City Horror Con. I also have an unofficial pressing that comes pressed on marbled blue vinyl. Kind of matches the hue of the blue Bogart label. I have an unofficial picture disc as well that sort of comes in a standard album jacket. No die cuts or anything, just a sticker on the front stating what it is. Last but not least, I also have the 2024 50th anniversary gold vinyl pressing, which has a foil jacket pressed on gold nugget vinyl, includes a replica of the promo poster, and is limited to 2,500 copies. Next up, with a total of 4 copies, is Alive. This is the album that saved Kiss's career, and despite testimonials of studio trickery, it replicates the live experience of a Kiss show with all of the bombast and spectacle it encapsulates, and because of that, it's arguably the greatest and most important live album ever made. I have a 2014 reissue that replicates the original packaging faithfully, including the 8-page tour program style booklet and the blue Bogart label. I also have the 2014 German pressing as well with the censored logo. I also have a 2008 pressing, which was part of the Back to Black series. The colors on this pressing are a little darker, and it does include the booklet, but what's interesting is the inclusion of the Casablanca stock inner sleeves and the Caspa label, which wasn't used until late 1976, so it makes for an interesting choice between these two components of design. Last but not least, I have an unofficial pressing, and what's bizarre about this is that the front cover isn't even the original cover. It's an outtake from the photo session at the Michigan Palace where the cover was shot. It does include the back cover, but no gatefold jacket or booklet, just 2 LPs and a single pocket jacket pressed on yellow vinyl using the first page of the booklet as the custom center label design. Last but not least, with a total of 4 copies, is Love Gun. This album holds a special place in my heart because it was the first proper Kiss album I approached at the ripe young age of 2 going on 3. And because of that, and this is slightly biased, it is my favorite Kiss album. You would think because of that I would have 6 copies just like Creatures and Destroyer, but oddly that is not the case. I have a 2014 German pressing, which has the censored logo and the gun prop completely intact. I have the 2020 Walmart exclusive pressing, which comes pressed on tangerine with aqua splatter vinyl. The gun prop didn't come with this pressing, so I Frankensteined it from a 2014 EU pressing I used to own, and just for the fun of it, I did assemble the gun. Next up is the 2022 Kiss Online exclusive pressing, which is pressed on gold vinyl and has the gun prop and a slightly different colored variant. And last but not least, I also have an unofficial pressing that has a unique fold-out poster and is pressed on marbled lilac vinyl. So there you guys go. Those are 5 Kiss albums that I have the most copies of in my vinyl collection. Now, of course, there are plenty of other Kiss albums that I have multiples of in my collection. And if you guys would like to see a part 2 video sometime in the future, please shoot me a comment down below. I'd love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video. And most importantly, keep the records spinning.